Hey everybody, welcome to Bucketman Scouting. In today's video, I'm going to be doing an all-22 film breakdown on T'Vondre Sweat, defensive tackle out of the University of Texas. He is 6'4", 362 pounds. He is one of my underrated prospects in this year's draft. This guy reminds me a lot of Jalen Carter, a lot of Travis Jones, and a lot of Keanu Benton. I scouted those three players and look how they're playing on their respected teams. They've been very valuable pieces to their teams. Jalen Carter had an outstanding year for the Eagles. Travis Jones was an essential part in the run defense for the Ravens. And Keanu Benton playing next to Cameron Hayward had a very solid year. So this guy, T'Vondre Sweat, is a 3-tech. He can play 0-tech in a specifically 3-4 defense. I don't think he would fit in a 4-3 defense because when you're running a 4-3 defense, you need more of those power rushing specialists. And T'Vondre Sweat is not a power rushing specialist. He can do that, but he can't do that consistently. And that is the key word, consistently. This guy fits a 3-4 defense. He would be very good in Los Angeles next to an Aaron Donald, who could also be very good for the Green Bay Packers, who desperately need D-line help next to a guy like Kenny Clark. So before I get into the film breakdown, I'm going to talk about some of his strengths and weaknesses. So a few of his strengths. This guy is a very stout run defender, which you're going to see throughout this film breakdown. Very good. That is one of his, I would say probably his biggest strength is a run defender, just like Travis Jones coming out of the University of Kentucky. One of the most underrated aspects that correlates to his strengths is his rip and shed move. His rip and shed move is very, very solid for a guy his size. He also has a very underrated bull rushing aspect to his game in terms of the technique, and I'm going to show you that here. Some of his weaknesses are his size does limit him in some aspects when he's going against better O-linemen. But that size and strength usually compensates that rip and shed move and that power rush move. He doesn't have a very good get off. It's not consistent. But when he does do that, when he does have that get off consistently, he is unstoppable. Very unstoppable. So it's your preference. The Newton out of Illinois is my top D-line prospect, but this guy, T'Vondre Sweat, is slowly creeping up there. So let's get into this film breakdown, shall we? So he is lined up as a 3-tech. These two are 3-techs. This is a 0-tech, outside linebackers and your middle linebackers. This is your prototypical base 3-4 defense. So here he is right here. You're going to see that get off right there and again, number 53 has no chance. I mean, his size, just a stout run defender. I mean, when you're running a 3-4 defense, you need guys like this that can stop the run, that can clog the lane, that can get that push in the backfield. That is key. Everybody wants to talk about edge rushers this, edge rushers that. If you don't have an interior pass rush, your edge rushers, your linebackers, and your corners are going to look like shit. Just look at this latest Super Bowl. Everybody was talking about how Patrick Mahomes had a great game. Nobody talked about Chris Jones and how that defense played. And Chris Jones was the main architect behind that dominant defense in that game. He was just an unstoppable force. Okay, next play. This is where he's lined up as a 0-tech. This is a 0-tech, folks. Again, rip and shed there. I mean, look at that rip and shed. For number 93. Rip right there. Very quick and just gets in the backfield there. That's what I want for my defensive tackles. I don't want my defensive tackles getting pushed back. I want them maintaining their assignment there. And he's maintaining it. So very good play by T'Vondre Sweat. Okay, next play. He is lined up as a 3-tech. This is against Kansas State. Good. Another rip and shed right there. Very good. Very solid. Very solid there. Again, he gets pushed back there a little bit. Again, his get off isn't the best. But if he goes to the right organization that can teach him and he goes to a place where he has an Aaron Donald or a Kenny Clark or a Dexter Lawrence with the Giants, guys like that that are your prototypical 3-4 defensive linemen, if he can learn from under those guys, he could be a very good player in this league, in my personal opinion. This guy is a very solid run defender. Very, very solid. He just pops off the screen, and when I look at him, he reminds me so much of Travis Jones, a Keanu Benton, guys that I scouted coming out of college that nobody was looking at. Okay, here he is again against Kansas State playing as a zero tech. Can you see? He's just... the one thing I really like about T'Vondre Sweat is he keeps his eyes in the backfield. You know, he doesn't keep his eye on the man that he's facing. He's keeping an eye on that running back and where he's going. And you're going to see right here on this play how he's basically roaming where he's going to go. He sees it. You see how he's eyeing him, and then he's going to turn this way and crash that gap that's opening up here and just clog it. So he does a very good job. His situational awareness on that D-line is very solid. And he's one of the top, in my personal opinion, he's the second best interior defensive lineman prospect in this year's draft, behind Newton out of Illinois, in my personal opinion. Okay, right here he's playing as a 3-tech against Kansas State again. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, it's just... Again, he doesn't have the agility like an Aaron Donald, like a Kenny Clark. He doesn't have that lower body agility. He is just a massive human being that if you don't block him, this is what's going to happen. He gets that rip and shed right there, boom, and then he's going to go against 55 and he's going to bull rush him. That's what I want to see. Look at that. I mean, it's just... He misses the sack there. I mean, my God, it's just... Being a Denver Broncos fan, knowing that you're never going to get a guy like this is just head-scratching to me. Because the Broncos, the Walmart Generals, don't value these type of players. They value these guys, but they don't value this guy. And this guy is making a play. He's getting double-teamed on a play. There's a rip and shed there. And then he bull rushes the dude. I mean, it's just... A team is going to value this guy. I am 100% sure of that. A team is going to value this type of player. I mean, could you imagine? You're a Green Bay Packers fan. This guy would fit perfectly next to a Kenny Clark. If you were a Packers scout or a Packers front office executive, please take T'Vondre Sweat. Pair him next to a Kenny Clark. Or the Rams. Put him next to Aaron Donald so he can develop. Here he is again playing the 3-tech. Look at that rip and shed. I mean, my God. Now that is Jalen Carter-esque right there. That is Jalen Carter-esque. And Jalen Carter does that on a more consistent basis than T'Vondre Sweat. But the one comparison that T'Vondre Sweat and Jalen Carter have is they have both mastered that move right there. And I'm not saying that, oh, you only need that move to be successful in the NFL. But if you have that move down to a fucking art, then everything else is going to accumulate. If you could take the coaching, if you could take the player development, this guy could be a very good player for your team and a very valuable piece for your team. I mean, everybody doesn't like, oh, the Giants suck. There's a guy that Dave Gettleman drafted who everybody shit on for that pick, Dexter Lawrence. And to me, in a 3-4 specific defense, he is up there with a Kenny Clark and a Aaron Donald as the better 3-4 defensive lineman in the league. I mean, Dexter Lawrence is an unstoppable force. You put this guy next to Dexter Lawrence, I mean, your defensive line is going to be outstanding. Young, up-and-coming units. Okay, this is against Oklahoma. He's getting double team there. Boom. You see how he... Again, when you're looking at a defensive lineman, he's not getting pushed back. Granted here, he's getting double teamed on this play. But again, look at that. Just look how physical he is. Able to shut off 2 offensive linemen and still make a play there. I mean, most D linemen, you'd be getting pushed back. I mean, oh my God, this guy is an absolute fucking stud. T'Vondre Sweat, man, you have a bright future ahead of you if you go to the right organization or right coaching. I mean, my God, I can think of so many 3-4 teams that would benefit from a guy like this. I mean, this guy is just a very stout run defender. And there's nothing wrong with a run defender. If you have an Aaron Donald, get a T'Vondre Sweat. If you have a Kenny Clark, get a T'Vondre Sweat. If you have a Dexter Lawrence, if you are a Giants fan, and I know that you guys try to get offense and defensive linemen, I could say that, unlike the Denver Broncos, this guy would be such a good building block piece next to a fucking Dexter Lawrence. Sorry for my French, but man, when I see players like this that aren't valued in the fucking league, it pisses me off. When you have guys, oh, Patrick Mahomes had a great Super Bowl, because all we care about is the princess quarterbacks. And every time I listen to these draft analysis experts or these sport people that get paid to talk about sports, it's like, I'm going to use what my girlfriend said as an analogy. It's like you're in high school all over again, and all these girls are trying to go out with the popular boy in school to be prom king and prom queen. It's like every time I listen to these draft experts, they just, oh my God, the quarterback, oh my God, it's like little schoolgirls trying to, it is sickening. It is sickening. Well, you never scout quarterbacks. No. Because there's other positions on the field that I believe are more important than just the fucking quarterback. You need offensive linemen, you need defensive linemen, you need middle linebacking, you need great safety play. You need great center, guard, tackle, D lineman play. I mean, like, there's more positions than just the fucking quarterback here. So, well, Patrick Mahomes, yeah, let me ask you a fucking question, you draft experts out there. What happened when Patrick Mahomes didn't have an offensive line in front of him? Oh, yeah, that's right. He looked like dog shit. And then what happened? They went out and got Joe Thuney, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Jawan Taylor, guys like that. And they drafted Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith. Trey Smith out of Tennessee and Creed Humphrey, my top center prospect in that draft, got picked in the 2nd fucking round. What does that fucking tell you? Sorry, just went a little off tangent there. God, it just pisses me off. Because I am such a old school fan. Like, you guys don't understand. Yeah, I'm young, but I have such an old school mindset that when I see players like this that are not valued around the NFL, it pisses me off. Okay, this is where a 3-tech again. Getting double teamed. Rip and shed. Look at that rip and shed. Look at that fucking rip and shed move right there. Boom! I mean, my God, a stout run to front. Look at that. Holes opening up. He's getting double teamed. He rips and sheds and crashes. That's what I want to fucking see. Look at that. And I'm slowing it down for you folks. Look at that. That is just an outstanding play by T'Vondre Sweat. Like I said, what was one of the biggest weaknesses I said? He doesn't have a very good get-off. But he doesn't get pushed back, and he maintains his gap assignment response of fucking ability. Very good play by T'Vondre Sweat. This guy is a mean machine. Okay, this is against Kansas. 3-tech. Look at that. Look at that rip and shed. Boom. Oh, my God. Now, I can understand people, well, he goes to that way too much, so offensive linemen are going to sniff that out. That's very true, and that's a very valuable argument, and I completely agree with you. He needs to continue to develop his skill set. That's where I come in and say he needs to go and be next to a guy like an Aaron Donald, like a Dexter Lawrence, like a Kenny Clark, so he can develop those moves. He can go to the right D-line coach. He can go to the right organization that value these type of players. So, I mean, look at that rip and shed. It's just, it's exceptional. He has it down to such an art. Okay, 3 tech again. Oh my God, that is my favorite play right there. That is my favorite play right there. I love that play. This is my favorite play, and I'm going to tell you why. Because he understands, he's a very smart player too. I want people to understand this guy isn't a scrub. He is a very smart, intelligent, situational awareness defensive lineman. And this right here is situational awareness to the fucking T right here. Basically a read option here. And then, boom, right there. I mean, my God. Against number 54, who has no chance. I mean, look at that bull rush move. Boom, right there. I mean, it is... He doesn't go this way. He crashes that way. I mean, it's just exceptional work by T'Vondre Sweat there. I love that play. That is probably my favorite play I've seen so far. I mean, it's just his situational awareness. Because he could have went that way. He could have, but instead... He understands the look because he probably watches what? The film, and he understands this play formation and the formation of the play to understand, okay, it's basically he's going to try and toss it or he's going to run with it, the quarterback. And so I am going to crash on the left side here. It's just situational awareness 101, folks. It's not that hard to figure out. Oh, yeah, hey, Pro Football Focus, do you bring that up in your grading scale? I hate Pro Football Focus. I cannot stand their bullshit con artist narrative. They're trash. Oh yeah, Cecil Lammey. Oh, how's that win rate, buddy? Of Garrett Holds. Yeah, that win rate. Get the fuck out of here, Cecil Lammey, you idiot. Look at this play by T'Vondre Sweat. I mean, my God, this guy doesn't get pushed back. He's always in the fucking backfield. That's what you want from your interior defensive lineman. Look at that. Boom, and then bull rushes. Look at that. And that should have been the holding call. But this guy had no chance. And you see the difference between, look at this. Okay, I want to bring this point up as well. And I have to go back to the Denver Broncos here. When I watch a Nick Burrito and a Baron Browning, what is the one thing that they struggle at? Setting the fucking edge. And look at number 1 right here. Setting that fucking edge so it allows football 101, folks. That's football 101. Gets double team, rip and shed, bull rush, boom. Right there. That's what you want from your interior D lineman. Okay, so this is going to be the last play I show you guys. This is against the University of Alabama. Okay, against Bryce Young last year. Okay, number 93 right here. You're going to see, and he's played as a 3 tech. It's going to be a wraparound right here. Boom. And then look at that. I mean, my God. And these are the type of stunt packages that you can run as a defensive coordinator. Could you imagine if that's Aaron Donald and fucking T'Vondre Sweat? Could you imagine if that's Dexter Lawrence and T'Vondre Sweat? Could you imagine if that's Kenny Clark and T'Vondre Sweat running a play like this? I mean, they would both be crashing there. And T'Vondre Sweat gets the initial move. I mean, that is such a great design blitz by the Texas Longhorns defensive coordinator. So, yeah, this is my film breakdown on T'Vondre Sweat. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like I said, I apologize to the people that enjoy my work. I've been out of the office for a while. Been having to work a lot. Been getting a lot of stuff like this out to you folks. Watching a bunch of film. I've watched this guy, this T'Vondre Sweat. I watched his film 8 to 10 times. Because it's such an art watching a guy like this that I know isn't going to be valued by the league whatsoever. So it's fun watching guys like this that nobody likes, nobody scouts. It's all quarterback, 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 receivers, tight ends, edges, corners. That's all they care about. They don't give a shit about players like this that can actually be a valuable piece to your fucking team. So yeah. So this is my film breakdown on T'Vondre Sweat, defensive tackle out of the University of Texas. He is 6'4", 362 pounds. And like I said, my second rated defensive lineman in terms of interior in this year's draft. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and we'll catch you next time.